Okay, now what about the money part? We haven't even dove into that. Like, was it worth it? And how often are you guys there? Are you guys there, 7 days a week, 10 hours a day? I mean, I don't know what the schedule is. And I don't know if you have to be there even if you don't have a skip that's going to be ran that week. And then, what was the pay scale?
Yeah, so typically we were there 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 weeks out of the month. So we got 1 week off for every 3 weeks we worked. And actually, I went back to regular school during those weeks. Not all the kids did it, but I would take that 1 week and go back to school. And, I think my mom's really just trying to keep me grounded and everything like that. As far as the pay, man, Nickelodeon. So I call them Slickelodeon, I got a nickel and diamond shirt that I rock from time to time.
Did you get a weekly check? What did it look like?
It was like a per episode check, and
oh wow,
and it was decent money, but not in comparison to the industry standard. So I believe we were governed by AFTRA and not SAG. And so they found a loophole there. And then what you find with Nickelodeon is a lot of the kids get their start on Nickelodeon, so they don't have an extensive work history, nothing really to compare it to. You're a novice, and what do you look like turning down an industry job, especially as a regular on a show? Like, I definitely tried to negotiate the pay, didn't go far, and we just accepted, right? So it was like, what the fuck are we gonna do?
What was the pay? I don't know if you want to.
I would say it's less. I'll keep it real. It was like $2,000 an episode, $2,000.
So if you had 10 episodes that week,
if you got 10 episodes a season, that would be like $20,000 for the whole season, right? And so where other shows, if you were on ABC, a CBS, one of these major networks, is like $20,000 an episode, even for the kids just starting off. So it was definitely about a tenth of the normal industry standard. And to some of the kids that I was right next to, like a Marcus Polk or Orlando Brown or some
whether
of these
or not
kids.
You did 10 shows within that episode, you only got $2,000.
You would get $2,000 per show. So whether I did 5 skits or 1 skit, I would get the same $2,000.
Damn.
It went up a little bit, maybe to $3,000. Like towards the end, I did 3 seasons. We had like a little pay scale that went up. You know what I'm saying? But and
then they were like, "It's getting too high. Get him the fuck out of here."
Well, yeah, and like I would say, some of the other cast members, they tried to negotiate and even took some time off. They ended up settling and coming back. Maybe they got a little bit more. I would say some of the other cast members definitely got more than me. I'm not going to be like I was at the top, but it was definitely, like I said, about a tenth of the industry standard when you're comparing yourself to other people that I knew on other shows, and that I had to pretend like I was just as popping as them or just as rich as them. Like I couldn't take my mom. My mom, like I said, my mom was working every day. She never really relied on my my pay in any way. And then from that 2,000, you could break it down real quick. 30% is gonna go to taxes. 30% went to the Coogan law, so 30% was put away for me, right? And so you're already at 60%. I had to pay an agent, a manager. That's another 10%. Another 10%. I paid my on-set, my Geraldine, right? She was my on-set nanny, or she was looking after me. So that was probably another.
Nickelodeon doesn't cover
no expenses, So that was maybe another 10%, and then I just bought some Jordans, and that was that was it. I stayed fly, I had some Tommy Hilfiger.
But it had to be dope going back to public school, because you was famous as shit.
Yeah, I was famous.
The most popping dude on campus.
Just met Ice Cube, had the new J's on. So that part was fly, but in reality, we didn't have the big house and shit. Like, there was other kids, though, that didn't realize that they was way more popping than me. Right. You know what I'm saying? I knew how to freak it. I knew how to do it from day one, because I was just had the swag like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what got me on the show. So they looked at me that way, but in reality, I was struggling or just the same as any other kid that had a pair of Jordans. Right. It was just a pair of J's. Like,